Hey everybody, Nick Arnette, another episode of Cool People I Know Our Meat, and you know what? I've known you for a while. Dan Taguchi, everybody. Hey Dan.
Hey Nick.
Good dude, man. I've known you several years, and you never cease to amaze me. All the stuff you've done. So let's start out. What is your main gig? We'll talk about your other stuff too.
Okay, well, I've been teaching music for 36 years. This is my 36th year teaching music in public school. Yep.
36 years in public. So you could have retired by now if you wanted.
Oh yeah, I could have, but I've really enjoyed myself. The kids are great, and recently, for the last 6 years, I've been teaching near my house.
Great.
In the West Valley. Formerly, I taught at Hamilton High School, which is a performing arts magnet school. I was there for 15 years, but that, of course, meant driving the 101 and 405 and the 10 every day. And so now I'm teaching in the West Valley near our home at a place called Hale Charter Academy. I've been there for 6 years. One of my main motivations to go there, not just because the commute went from 50 miles to 5, but Kiana, our daughter, she was going into 6th grade and she enrolled at our school. And so I got to drive her to school and drive her home every day for 3 years, and she was in 2 of my classes.
Wow. What was that like having your own daughter in class?
It was great. It was really great having her in class. The thing was, she played violin, she played first violin, and you know what? You might think that you might have some conflicts, some complaints. Why is your daughter sitting so far up? And well, I just said, why don't you listen to her play? And so after hearing her play, there weren't any complaints.
There you go, exactly. And that's great that you get along so well. When I went to high school, my dad was a high school counselor at the same place where I went to school, and he was well liked. That was good. The only bad part is, like, if I ever missed class, he knew I missed class before I even knew I missed class. So that was kind of the bad part about it. And one time I got a full letter grade off in English because it was a day I was home typing my paper So anyway, that's the only time it really cost me. Other than that, it was pretty good because he was always there if I needed lunch money.
You know what? The thing that Kiana misses most, and she always says this, what do you miss most, Kiana, about being at my school? She says, I miss the fact that your office had a refrigerator and a microwave.
Yeah.
So she got to eat mom's leftovers for lunch while everybody else had to bag it.
Well, let's talk quickly about music in schools, because that has really changed a lot since when I played the trumpet and I just loved being in the band when I was in junior high. But that's kind of going away, at least from what I hear.
You know, it's all up to the administrator.
Uh-huh.
If the administrator decides that music and performing arts is a priority, they find a way to fund it. For example, at our school, we just got $16,000 to buy uniforms for our mariachi. And we've had this mariachi for 6 years, and they've been wearing ties and shirts, and now they've put up $16,000 to buy 40 uniforms. So if the school wants to support it, they will, and programs will survive as long as there's administrative support.
Why do you suppose some schools don't want to support it?
There are some administrators who, well, for example, in the high schools, as you probably would think, athletics is a big deal, and it eats up a lot of money. And so if they decide that that's their priority, then that's their priority. A lot of schools are concentrating on raising test scores, and their big mistake is adding academics, when in reality, students who take music score an average of 58 points higher on the SAT. So if every kid had music, instead of giving them an extra elective in math or English, which they're behind on, I think that would be the way to go, but some administrators don't think that way.
Well, it is so true, because I hosted a thing called Band Fest, and it was for the bands that were in the Tournament of Roses parade.
Band Fest. That was held at Birmingham High School, I believe, in the Valley, right?
Yes.
I used to teach there.
And these kids from marching bands all over the country, over 90% of them were honor students in these marching bands. So I didn't know that. So you're so right. You can back up what you said quite easily. So we've got this, your school gig, but then you've got some other major things. I know you're a playwright. Yes, so tell us about that.
Well, my songwriting partner and I co-composed a musical play called Manzanar, Story of an American Family, and we did a reading at Union Church here in 2012 and in 2014. And the play talks about the Japanese internment during World War II, and many of the members of Union Church are former internees. So I wanted to tell their story.
Right. So people, you're telling a story about people that you actually know. That is wonderful. And it's a musical, yes?
Yeah, musical.
Yeah. Very well attended, packed. I've never seen it so crowded here. Standing room only. and it's still can be seen, right?
Well, we're hoping that we'll be able to continue to promote it in the future, and we'll see what happens.
Right. I think there's certainly an audience for it. Absolutely. And then you're a big Dodgers fan, like one of the biggest I know.
Huge Dodger fan since I was a kid.
And how did you get into that so much?
Well, growing up listening to the transistor radio, Vince Scully.
Really?
Oh, he's my man, and I'm so sad that he's retiring.
Me too. He's retiring? I didn't know. You heard it here first on Cool People. Hey friends, Nick Arnette here. Isn't Dan Taguchi great? One more part to this episode. He's going to talk about all the instruments he plays, some of his teaching values, how he shares those with the students, and how they are applicable to everyday life, which is tremendous. You're going to love that part. And he's going to share with us his Louis Armstrong impression. You do not want to miss the next part of this episode. Meanwhile, everybody, be cool.